Hello and welcome to the Chicago Tribune's Bear Download. I'm Rich Campbell along with Dan Wiederer. We are here at Hallis Hall on day 2 of the Bears' 3-day minicamp, and today storylines all about the defense. Heard from defensive coordinator Mel Tucker as they get to the end of this off-season gelling process, and Mel seems to think that they've made some significant strides so far.
Yeah, Rich, you think about it, this defense is undergoing some major changes. A lot of new faces in here from last year, but not only that, guys taking on new roles, whether that's Shea McClellan moving from defensive line to the linebacker position, whether that's Tim Jennings adapting to a new role, playing the slot corner and nickel. There's a lot of change going on here, and Mel Tucker feels very confident that they've made progress in sort of getting the coaches familiar with the players familiar with the coaches, the scheme in. Now they're going to have to reinstall all this and take many steps forward when they get to Bourbonnais for training camp, but from the outset, you're getting to see a lot of the growth that some of these guys have been asked to make, the adaptation that a lot of these guys have had to make coming into a new team for some of these guys. So there's definitely some optimism here that last year's struggles can be put to bed quickly.
And one of the big elements that Mel has continued to emphasize, along with Mark Trestman this offseason, is toughness. Toughness in the front seven, winning the line of scrimmage, because obviously the Bears did a poor job up front last season as injuries took their toll and they finished so poorly in the NFL rankings against the run. And the rebuilt defensive line, Mel Tucker says, is showing this type of violence, a suddenness, toughness, real gritty attitude and execution that we won't really get to see until the pads come out and the Bears start playing other teams. But at least to this point, without pads, Mel sees these signs that justify some optimism.
And you forgot the one adjective that Mel Tucker used today, and that's salty.
Salty.
That this group can be salty, and Mark Trestman says they've got to be salty. That's how you win defensive football games in the NFL. You have a group that plays with an edge and plays with a toughness. Now, this isn't a new concept. The Bears aren't introducing an idea that, hey, suddenly we're going to be tough and suddenly things are going to be fixed. You still have to have talented players that fit well together. But within that toughness, you hear that message here consistently from the start of rookie camp through OTAs and now in the mini camp, that they're clearly trying to send a message, whether it's to the fan base but also to the players, that there's a brand of football that needs to be played here. And it's a conscious effort to bring those words to the forefront.
Yeah, I mean, this is messaging. It's almost like public relations at this point. Right. Now, we assume that the players are hearing the same things that we are, and Mel Tucker and Mark Trestman have said that these are things that they're preaching to the defense, and so we'll see how this plays out when we get to the regular season. But with players like Jeremiah Ratliff and Jared Allen and the two rookie defensive tackles that they brought in, Lamar Houston as well, you see what the end goal is and what they're going to be shooting for once these pads come out in July and August.
Without question, and the other guys to keep an eye on are Kyle Fuller and Brock Vereen, a couple of defensive backs who are rookies who are showing positive signs here, but it's OTAs and the pads aren't on and nobody's hitting each other, and the sort of the learning curve that they're on tends to hit a plateau early in training camp, and Mark Trestman mentioned that today, that then we're going to see, just how good these guys are. Yes, they're making progress because they're starting from the ground floor, but where does that level off at, and then where do they go from there? So two guys that figure to play prominently in that defense right now are showing some positive signs, but until we get to Bourbonnais, we can't know exactly what we have.
And we'll be there, almost 5 weeks from now? Not quite there yet. We still got a little bit of vacation in summertime to enjoy in Chicago before we get all the way
One more day of minicamp, too. You see a lot of people leaving behind us. We're going to work till the sun goes down while everybody else takes the rest of the afternoon off.
Yeah, Thursday, Bears will wrap up their entire off-season program and break for the summer. We will be here, of course, also covering it on ChicagoTribune.com, so check in to that for updates and coverage. And for Dan Wiederer, I'm Rich Campbell, and that'll do it for Bear Download.